4 yesterday, chapter 7. So we know the gist so far. For those who are coming for the new episode for the first time, most of you might have already come for many episodes. So we're doing the 7th chapter till the 6th chapter. Lord taught us how to live in this world. It is very important to know about the first 6 chapters to live a life in a very balanced manner in this world. And at the end of the 6th chapter, Lord gave us all a message. He says, Tapasvibhyo adhiko yogi, jnanibhyopi madhodikaha, karmibhyaschadhiko yogi, tasmat yogi bhavarjuna. So Lord Krishna is very clear here. He doesn't want us to take sannyasa. He doesn't want people to leave the world, wear the kavi and go into the forest. So that's why he says, tapasvibhyo adhiko yogi. Very clearly, he doesn't want us to renounce the word, Lord says. So the yogi is greater than a tapasvi, a person who is a renunciant. Then he says, jnani bhyo api matodikaha. Now, a jnani is a person who may say, okay, I don't want to perform any of the activities of this world. I'm going to read and read and read the scriptures and learn about Brahma, sit quietly, and I will beg for my food somewhere. Or somebody will give me some food. So that is again not advised by Lord Krishna. Then Lord says, Karmi Bhyascha Adhiko Yogi. The Lord also doesn't want us to become workaholic and materially minded. Just work, work, work until you drop dead. So that is also not what he's saying. This is a very important message. Lord Krishna clearly tells us after teaching us what is Karma Yoga in the 3rd chapter, and after teaching us what is, how do you rise beyond excessive work through jnana or entering the Jnanamaya Kosha. And how will you get it? By becoming a seeker, looking for the truth, and approaching a Brahmajnani. So this is how we do the Jnana Yoga. And then he says, if you do this, Karma Sannyasa will start happening. You will begin to rise beyond the worldly activities. And then he goes on to say this, he teaches this chapter on Dhyana Yoga, learn meditation. So in this, we understand, using this 46th shloka, that Lord Krishna is very, very keen, and this is the message for you and me, for the entire world. He wants us to be in the world, but not of the world. So he wants us to rise, and for that he wants us to learn some upaya, some technique, and typically related to calming, peace, silence. And that is Tasmat Yogi Bhavaju. So it's very clear. If you read the God Talks to Arjuna, which is a direct message from Lord Krishna through Paramahansa Yogananda, he says this. Paramahansa Yogananda was in a state of deep samadhi when he dictated this Gita. He goes on to say that I was in contact with Vyasa Maharshi, and many of his disciples saw his body floating above earth when he used to speak. There used to be pages and pages flying. He was typing it. His disciples were typing it, and his eyes was closed. He did not refer to any Gita shloka, opening a book or anything. He just verbatim, extemporaneously, he spoke this from what he was revealed. So he says very clearly that the job of this world is karma plus meditation, activity plus meditation. That is your and my job on earth. And what we'll do after we die and go into a higher universe, it might be different, because that is Adi Daiva. That is a different type of a yoni. We are Adi Bhutas. Our essence is of a different type. You can't compare a Deva to a Manava. So for us, what is prescribed by Bhagavan Krishna is do your activity diligently, but in a balanced manner. Don't become a workaholic. Rest of this time, use it diligently to learn meditation. Be in silence. Go within. So we've not come here to generally have fun, which most of the people continue think. So hence, this is an important message. So that I had to convey that. So then we have the Saptamodhyaya. We started the 7th chapter yesterday, where Lord logically takes us into a different state. He now explains, after he's told all humans what to do, Karma Yoga, balanced activity plus meditation, focusing on Brahma. Then he tells, why focus on Brahma? Jnana Vijnana. You are so confused and deluded about life. You have so many questions from childhood. The child will ask, why homework? Why should I do this? So the parent doesn't have an explanation to literally. He or he will say, I did it, so you do it. That's not the explanation. Explanation, the questions, because we have so many questions, because we are eternal beings. We have so many questions. And by uniting with Brahma, we get those questions answered in this world drama. Otherwise, people may get into very wrong notions, very, very wrong, dangerous, horrendous notions, which will make their soul suffer if the questions are not answered. They may wrongly follow something. So that is why knowing Brahma from within is very important. And that is why meditation. So if somebody comes and tells you, do this, your intuitive ability, faculty, your wisdom will guide you and tell you, look, this is wrong. You're not supposed to do it. This is not what Brahma says. And that is why we need the chapter. So we understood what happened in the 7th chapter. We did 50 slokas. This is a revision. Lord says, Bhagwan says, Maya Sakta, Mujh mein asakti rakho, Partha Yogam Yun Janmadashraya. One who does this by keeping yoga as his fundamental goal. Asamshayam Samagram Mam Yatagnyasya Tatshunu. How you'll attain me by keeping yoga as the goal. Listen to that. Jnanam te aham savijnanam idam vakshyamya sheshata yajnatvaneha bhuyonyat jnatavyam avashishyate. I will tell you about jnana and vijnana, original knowledge and higher knowledge, both. I will tell you completely, and when you know this, there'll be nothing else left to be known. So this is a result of meditation, the wisdom accruing into the human soul through higher means. So just through karma yoga, attaining there is very difficult. That's why Lord says in the previous chapter, do some upaya, no? Don't struggle for 3 billion years. You are brainy, you are intelligent. Please take up something, and come out of this, attain your real nature. Then Lord says, he continues, learn jnana and vijnana. It will come to you when you learn the meditation, the techniques. Manusyanam sahasreshu kaschid yatati siddhai yatadamapi siddhanam kaschin mam vedita. Thousands try to seek me. Out of that, thousands will actually not attain me, will learn about me, will get interested in me. But out of that, very few will actually attain me in my original form. They are complete united ones, like Krishna, Christ, Sai Baba. You have Ramakrishna Paramahamsa. Again and again, it use those names because they are of our times, no? The last 100, 200 years. So it's very easy to relate to them. So they are the people who know Krishna in Vetti Tattvataha, in union. They have become united with Krishna. Then Lord says, Bhumi apa anala vayukham mano buddhi evacha ahankara itiyam me binna prakritirashtada. Ashta. There are 8 types of my variations, deviations, which is the creation, and that is Bhumi, Anala, Vayu. We did this yesterday. Okay. The Panchabhutas and Manabuddhi, Ahankara. Then he says, Apare, we did this. This is my Apara Prakriti. And there is a higher being which is called Para Prakriti, Vidhi Me Param. That is my Para Prakriti. Jiva Bhutam Mahabaho. That becomes the Jiva, or the soul. Yayedam Dharyati Jagat. And that also supports this entire cosmos. So that is consciousness, or what we call as Brahma Chaitanya, Vishwa Chaitanya. So that supports the consciousness. The other part of me becomes Prakriti and devolves into different natures, which finally may become very different from Brahma, like processed food. The wheat which we get from the field is very different from the biscuit that you buy in the shop, Mary biscuit, right? Nobody will be able to recognize it's one and the same. So that is our processed food against Brahma himself. So that is apara prakriti. Then Lord says, Etadyonini bhutani sarvani iti upadarya ham kritsnasya jagata prabhava pralayastata. Entire jagat, I do the prabhava, creation, I do the pralaya, I dissolve it. These two types of yonis are created by me, consciousness and prakriti. Apara and para. Para is consciousness, apara is prakriti. So I create everything. Entire Kritsna is completely I create. Matta parataram nanyat kinchidasti dhananjaya. Greater than me, nothing exists, O Dhananjaya. Mai sarvamidam protam sutre manigana iva. I'm going fast because this is a revision. I have strung everything on a sutra. I am the sutra on which everything is strung. Sutra is a thread, like a mani. Mani is beads. Then Lord goes on to continues. He talks about his essence that permeates everything. The next 5 shlokas. Rasa hamapsu kaunteya prabha asmi shashi surya. In the sun and the moon, I am the radiance. The essence of water, which is fluid, that I am. Pranava sarva vedeshu. Om creates all the Vedas. And from that Veda and that Om, I am. Shabda K Paurusham. The K is Kha. Kha is the ether. In that ether tattva, which is the fundamental foundation of everything, the Shabda moves. Shabda is sound. Essentially, Om itself moves. So that also is me. Punyo Gandha Prativyam cha Tejas Chasmi Vibhavas. The essence of earth is its beautiful smell. So that comes out in the first rains. We discuss this. I am also the Tejas of Vibhavaso, of the fire, the radiance, that warmth, life-giving warmth. Jivanam sarvabhuteshu tapaschasmi tapasvishu. I am the life of all beings. Of the tapasvis, I am there. Power of tapas. Bijam mam sarvabhutanam viddit partha sanatanam. I am the seed-giving father, eternal seed-giving father of everything that is in creation. Buddhir buddhimatamasmi. If you have knowledge and wisdom, it has come from me. Tejas tejas vinamaham. If you have charisma, an aura, which is more powerful, that is also you have drawn from me only. Balam balavata cha aham. The powerful and strong men get their power from me. Kamaraga vivarjitam. But that power is sattvic in nature. It does not kill. It is not destructive. It is not rajasic or tamasic. It doesn't have desire. He's clarifying. Lord is clarifying. Lest the people generally go on a killing spree and say, oh, Lord has said, kill everyone. So he's very clearly saying, Kamaraga, 17th chapter also he says this. Dharma aviruddho bhuteshu kamosmi bharatasham. Any desire that follows the dharmic rites and codes. Remember that desire is righteous and it comes from me only. People draw those desires. Lord is showing the fulfillment of every desire is a karmic injunction, which is pure. Ye chaiva satvika bhava rajasa tamasaschaye matta eveti tanvitti natvam teshutimai. This is very fascinating. He says, Sattva, Rajas, and Tamas, everything is inside me and I push it out into this world. Mata eveti tan vitti. Remember, they are all inside me, but I am not in them. It's a very cryptic statement to understand. You can visualize the Brahman, eternal Brahman, enveloping everything and beyond. And naturally, within him, everything is contained. But he necessarily may not portray himself there. That's why we discussed. He's a Purusha, Vishesha Purusha. He's a being. He's a man, like not a man, it's like a being, like you and me. may not classify it as male or female. He has everything within him. Kama, Krodha, Lobha, Moha, Sara. But he is Aparamrishta. Vidya, Asmita, Raga, Dvesha, Abhinivesha, all these things, Panchakleshas, all these, he's beyond. But he knows everything is there in me. It's a very fascinating, he calls it Yoga Maya. Like how the producer produces the movie, there's a hero and the villain, and the director directs it. Producer puts all the money, it's his power. But producer is not involved in the movie making. He doesn't come to the sets. The director and the actors go. The light boys go. But the producer stays aloof. But what happens when everything comes? He is a yajnadikari, meaning he gets all that we do yajna, it goes to the producer. In the sense, whatever money comes to the movie goes to the producer, not to the director. He apportions it between the director and everything. So that is how Brahma is. He is aloof, beyond. But everything went through him. The movie, the money for the movie, the support, everything. Then Lord says, Tribirguna Mayer Bhave Yebi Sarvam Idam Tatam Mohitam Na Abhijanati Mamebhya Param Ave. Tribirguna, three gunas, and Ebi Sarvam Idam Jagat. Anything that is moving or anything that is coming to being has come from me only. How can there be anything besides me? So that is why the scriptures say there is no human who's actually evil, and there is nothing that is going amiss. Everything has come out from him. But to qualify, Paramahansa Yogananda mentions something very fascinating. He says, when something very destructive or very heinous or very horrendous happens, it is not actually Brahma doing it. It wasn't his plan. It is the distortion of Brahma which brings about that. So when we don't follow rhythm, the balance, the order, the original spiritual laws, that is why these spiritual laws have to be followed. Whatever religion we are in, we have to learn the scriptures, not the distorted scriptures, the direct scriptures from a Vidwan, from a God realized soul, not anybody. And then we have to follow what that God realized soul says. Hence, it is very important to look for a God realized soul. Then Lord says, Daivi Hesha Gunamai Mama Maya Dhuratyaya Mameva Ye Prapathyante Maya Metam Taranti. Taranti is to swim. So this entire universe is filled with my gunas only. I put these gunas here, Sattva, Rajas, Tamas, and entire Prakriti I created. So if you want to get out of this Maya, which is called Maya, this Apara Prakriti, it's very difficult. Imagine a kind of set of duality and rule, which is like clogging our vision, clogging everything in our brain. There is no way to escape it. Avidya is ingrained when we are born. The very fact that we are humans makes us believe that we are the body, which is an avidya. So it is ingrained in us because we have a body. Yes, I have a body. I am this body. But we are not this body, right? Swami Sivananda gives a very interesting example. Maybe you should practice it in your meditation prayers or when you're contemplating and sitting in silence. He says, just observe, you'll always say it is my hand, my leg, my nose. You will not say, if you were the body, you would say, I the nose, I the body, I am the nose, I am the hand. No, you are saying mine. Means these things belong to me right now. It may not belong after some time. So why so much of stress on the body? So that's avidya. But it is programmed into us. That is why Mama Maya Duratya. But Mameva ye prapadyante mayam etam taranti. Taranti is to swim, terna. So you can go across if you hold on, surrender, and just think of me. Like how Draupadi used to think, no? It's in Lord Krishna when they were in the forest. See, the Pandavas, he went and taught them some techniques of getting peace and meditation. Lord Krishna was a guru, right? He used to visit them often in the forest. So that time he went to teach Draupadi some techniques. So Draupadi says, oh, that is very difficult. I have so much work. I don't have time to do this. Besides Krishna, how can I practice these things that you're telling me? Because my mind can't think of anything besides you. So that mind, which can't think of anything besides the Lord, every conversation revolves and goes back to God. Every thought goes back to Him. and who enjoys doing this. He says it in the 9th and 10th chapter. If you enjoy doing this, you're mine already. You're already mine. So that way you will get out of this place. In the last shloka in this chapter, he'll tell you how to get out. When he says that the consciousness is fixed at the time of death because of continuously thinking only of me throughout your life. You won't think anything else. So that's the last sloka of this chapter. So then Lord says, Namam dushkritino mudha prapadante naradama. So Nara Adama means lowly men, humans. We did this yesterday. Prapadyante, surrender. Muda, foolish. Dushkritino, they do bad things. End up thinking bad is good. Mayaya, apahrata jnana, asuram bhavamashata. Because if you don't hold on to me, which is the purest sattva, form or beyond sattva, you'll start getting pulled into that processed food chain, which is you'll become a Mary biscuit at the end. Meaning, you'll be very different from Gehu. Gehu is sattvic. Eat into direct form, you get the maximum benefit. So hold on to Brahma. Otherwise, the processed Brahma is Maya. It is very far away from Brahma. It doesn't look like Brahma. Satan, it is called. Maya, it is called. So when Maya aparata, Maya will is very powerful. It will pull away your head into that is important. This is important. Everything else is important but God. So you will end up becoming like a Rakshasi Pravritti, like Asuri Pravritti. Don't be so foolish, God says. So, see, if a fool suffers, whose making is it? It's his own making, Lord is saying. Look, I gave all of you intelligence. Can't you use it? Like that, he's saying. Don't follow it. Then he explains this a little bit in better. I think Gauridi is not there today, no? So I'll chant it myself. Gauridi has gone for Char Dham Yatra. So this is very interesting. Lord continues, don't be a fool. You're intelligent. That's why I say buddhir eke hamanushyana. Use your brain. Do good things. Chaturvidha bhajante mam jana sukritin arto jigna surartharthi jnani cha bharatarshapha. So Lord says, so who all worship me? 4 types, Chaturvida, 4 types, bhajante mam. They will worship me. Jana, people. Sukruti. Sukruti, kriti is to work, karma, kriya. Su is good. So Sukruti, good works. Okay, who are doing good works, generally they'll naturally get attracted to God and they start worshipping in 4 times. Arjuna. Artho jignasu. Artha is somebody who is very distressed. Artha, calling, Lord, help me, Lord. Physical problems, mental problems, poverty, headaches, whatever we have makes us call God. So we become an Artha. Jignasu, questioning. I have everything, but I am not happy. Why am I not so happy? I can buy anything. I can attain anything in life. I can go for a vacation to Switzerland. But I am not happy. I'm not peaceful. Jignasu, he starts seeking. There is something beyond I need to know. He becomes a seeker. Jignasu. He becomes a jignasu, seeker. And then he reaches God by asking God, tell me, tell me, tell me, tell me. So that is also a very common set of people. Higher the yugas, the number of arthas will be less, jignasus will be more. Now jignasus are increasing in this world because this world is going into higher Dwapara Yuga, higher ages. Intellectually, people are growing tremendously. So whatever the skirmish and the wars will remove the troubles in the world. It's a kind of a sacrifice. Then Lord says, Artharthi. Artharthi are people who have some artha in mind. They want some gain from God. There's some artha why they worship. I want a car, I want a house, I want a wife, I want that girl, boy, whatever. Everyone has been an artharthi in some life or the other. Artharthi, Jnani cha Bharatarshava. Jnani is somebody who has already attained a certain level of understanding of Brahma, who has already perhaps even realized him in some forms. He's a Jnani. But he also has to unite still, but he's almost united, like Draupadi's state, like you say. Jnani cha Bharatarshava. So there are 4 types like this, O Bharatarshava. bull amongst Bharatas, Arjuna's name. Then Lord says, Tesham jnani nitya yukta eka bhaktir vishishyate priyo hi jnani notyartham aham sacha mama priyaha. So Lord says, Tesham, amongst all these people, jnani nitya yukta eka bhakti vishishyate. Jnani is a little vishishya. He likes him. He's observing. God is Sarvadi Sakshi Bhutana. Every thought he is observing. He's sitting inside us, right? He's observing everyone's records, reels. He enjoys doing that also because he created us. He wants to see this. A producer and the director will be the first one to watch the movie, right? So he's observing. He's seeing the Jnani Eka Bhakti Vishishyate Nitya Yuktaha. Yukta means yoked or united. Mind is constantly on Brahma. It might be a beautiful state, isn't it? Kind of gives you goosebumps when you think of that state. Nitya Yuktatvam. Eka Bhaktir Vishishyate. Always having the desire to know Brahma. He becomes very important for God because he knows this child is very interested in me. There might be 10 children a parent has, but only 2 may be so interested in the parent. So the parent knows about these 2. He doesn't hate the others. He loves them equally because he's the parent, but he knows this child loves me the most. The Lord knows them. So, Priya hi jnani naha atyartham. Okay, I love him, he says. Aham sacha mama priya. He also loves me a lot. So this again shows not God's favoritism, but God is ourselves. He's sitting inside. It's a reflection. So when we think of God, He thinks of us. He said the same thing in the 5th chapter. If you seek me, I will seek you. And again in the 6th chapter, He says the same thing. When you see me, I will be seeing you. So it's like that. So Paramahansa Yogananda says, those who think of me near, I will be near. So I will always be there next to you if you are thinking of me. So it is a kind of it's not a give and take. It is more like Lord is us. So basically, if we want to know ourselves, we should know the Lord like that. Others will keep suffering. We don't want to suffer, right? So Guruji writes very interestingly. He says, just take yourself out of that delusion. Come out of it. Then Lord says, just look at him all the time. Udara sarva evete. Okay, let's chant that. So Udara sarva evaite ज्ञानी त्वात्मैव मे मथम् आस्थितः स हि युक्तात्मा मामेवानुत्तमां गति. So Lord says, Udhara sarva evete. Sarva ete are these. So Udhara are very good. Good. We are doing, all of them are good, doing right things only. Varta Jignasu Vartati. Because some way or the other, they are coming to me only. Some way or the other, they are coming to me through asking a car or going to some other, a desire, but they're asking me only. So that for that moment, they are united to me. So once they get the car, they're thinking, oh, I got the car, I should thank God. But really, when I was worshipping so intensely for that, car or that house or for getting married or whatever, I was so happy. Wasn't I feeling peaceful? That thought will come to that ego consciousness. And then they will hold on. So it is correct only what they did. Udara sarva eveti jnani tu atmeva me matam. Me matam is my opinion or my feeling or my mata. I say jnani in my knowledge is the best. Okay, why? Astita sahi yuktatma. Because he is united to me in consciousness all the time. Yukta Atma. United soul. Sahi Yukta Atma. Sa he. So he is definitely, Saha is he. He is definitely united to me. Just a moment, excuse me. He is definitely united to me as Uttamam Yukta Atma Mam Eva Anuttamam Gatim. So I am the Uttam se bhi bada, Anupama Uttama. So Anuttama. So something that is very, very precious for him. I am his very precious goal. So that's the right thing to have in mind. God. You and I were created to worship God. We worship everything else except God all through our lives. First our family, then our children, first our husbands, children, then our houses, then our regular activities. And like automatons, we move on. That's why Lord is waking us up here. So then Lord says, Bahunam janmanamante jnanavan mam prapadyate Vasudeva sarvamiti samahatma sudurlabha. So Lord says, after doing this and that, Bahunam, many, bahut sare, Janmanam, births, Ante, ending or after, Jnanavan, the person who gets filled with certain level of knowledge and wisdom, understanding, a seeker, Mam prapadyate, he will take me as the final goal. Till then, he wants some new souls just want to enjoy, have fun. There are higher souls who start becoming serious. Then there are souls, and this is not in one life, it takes many lives. And then they become doctors, engineers, nurses, sometimes, people who, help people. Then they get into very pious roles of helping beings, not giving so much importance to worldly pleasures. Then they go above this and they completely surrender to Vasudeva. Then Lord Himself says, who is saying this? Brahma is saying this through Lord Krishna's mouth. He's saying, Vasudeva Sarvam Iti. So that Vasudeva, who Sri Krishna, he is the greatest. Meaning, Lord Brahma is proclaiming that this Krishna is my Purna avatar. Again and again. But he doesn't say, I'm the only avatar. Because Jesus also proclaimed that, said, I am the Alpha and the Omega. None can come to the Lord except by me. So this very clearly Paramahansa Yogananda says, because we have limited consciousness, humans, no, we think, oh, there is only one avatar. How can that massive being have only one avatar? He might be right now having, Paramahansa Yogananda says, there are 10 Purna avatars. May not be full Purna avatars. I don't know whether Khanda avatar, Apurna avatar, what. At any point on earth, at any point, there are 10 avatars taking a group of people to Brahma, helping them, growing them. He never lets go. And it's not only earth. He's created a billion universes, billion planets. He's having avatars. That is Brahma. That is why it's mind boggling. What is he? What is it? And he says, I love you. It's so humbling. We are Trinamatra. 1 minute we are here, 1 minute we're gone. We're like that ant. Ant ko koi kuch chalta hai to we never look at the ant again. Right? It's a ocha wo chala gaya. For the ants family, it was very important. We are like that in this universe, vast universe. But still Brahma is important. For Brahma, it's important. But Lord Christ says there's one more level. He says that Lord is also taking care of even the sparrow which is dying. So meaning, Lord is concerned about everything. And it is only something very, 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 very powerful. That is why it is so easy, actually, in a way, to find God in one life. If we just realize this is our Father, He's so powerful. He can do anything. You just call on to Him and He can give it to you. It's just that our own doubt stops us from getting it. He'll say that also in the Gita. Stop doubting. Stop making fun. Stop thinking it's all wrong. Stop thinking that I didn't speak this. Stop thinking I can't speak to you. Open yourself and I can speak. As simple as that. Jesus also said the same thing in the Bible. Ask and it shall be given. Knock and it shall be opened. When you speak to Him, He'll talk back to you. But we believe it's not Him talking. So Lord says, Bahunam Janmanam Ante Jnanavan Mam Prapadyate Vasudeva Sarvamite Samahatma Sadula. But getting that union with Brahma and knowing this Purnavatar in essence completely, meaning ourselves becoming Brahma, such Mahatmas are Durlabha, very rare. Because earth plane is not the place where we can get so many evolved beings. Other planes are there. Then Lord says, Then the next one, Lord says, Kamaisthaiste hrita jnanaha prapatyante anya devataha tam tam niyamamasthaya prakritya niyata swaya. Lord says, Kamai tai stai. That and this, or like that, like that. Okay, because of kama, desires created by this universe of prakriti in us, tai, various desires, or that desires. Hritak jnana. Jnana is carried away by these desires or higher knowledge of wisdom. Prapadyante anya devata. People worship other gods. Now, this does not necessarily say that worship only me. It also says anya devata necessarily says that other gods. Other gods are car, bungalow, job, wife. These are all other gods only, right? We are constantly thinking, oh, what will happen to my family? What will happen to my bank balance? Where should I invest my money next? So we are worshipping money then. So this is naturally happening. So that becomes the other way of explaining is celestial gods, like gods. You'll worship the yakshas, like you have the so many types of beings are there. Forest yakshas, you have the coal. Like you've seen the Kantara movie and all. In that, there are so many yakshas, Shivaganas that they worship. So these beings will help us, but they also will ask some return from us. We have to give return. Krishna doesn't ask anything. He says, Pastram Pushpam Phalam Toyam. So, meaning you have to do some sukriti, do right jobs, and then only those yakshas will give you what they have. They have powers. Even the devas have. Devas have tremendous power. They are completely in control. All the devas. Many of the devas we worship are self-realized, like Ganapati, Murugan, all these are self-realized. But there are other gods also. Perhaps they are self-realized now. We don't know. When during the Veda times, like Pushan, they were, Yama, Agni, Vayu, the Ashtadikpalakas, Ashwins. They all used to apparently also come down and show themselves that time. Not anymore, because Bhagavan Krishna and all created some injunctions. So then now the Devata, Tam Tam Niyamam Asthaya. So why they are worshipping? Because they have not yet gained that wisdom of Vairagya, of knowing that I want nothing but God. So they want these things of this world. I only give them the Shraddha. They pull that Shraddha out of me only. So that's why Lord Christ says, virtue has gone out of me. When every time we take something from God, we pull that out of God. Not forcibly. We are children, we can take it. A son may walk into the father's house and say, Dad, I want 200 rupees. He has every right to that 200 rupees. It's his. So like that, you can. He says, I give that asthaya, astha, that is that faith. Prakritya niyata swayaha. So they're generally controlled by Prakriti, but they can come to me. They can also take that. I give it to them, this astha. Then Lord says, यो यो yam yam tanum bhaktaha श्रद्धयार्चितुमिच्छति तस्य तस्याचलां श्रद्धां तामेव विदधाम्यहम्. So yo yam yam tanum bhaktaha. Whoever, whatever. Tanum. Tanu is body. Tanum, whatever forms. Any form you can worship. Bhakta, devotee. Shraddhayam architum ichchati. Ichchati is ichcha, desire. If you want to worship me in any form, it's okay. Like that Lord is saying. Shraddhaya, you want to show your shraddha and faith, architum, archana karna. Tasya achalam shraddham. For him, I make his faith very strong because faith is coming from me. Whether it is Brahma, whether it's Ganesha, whether it's Murugan, whether it's Kali, whether it's Divine Mother, you take any form, whether it's Jesus, Mother Mary, you take fire, you take air, you worship anything you want. You will draw the faith from me only, the worship. You call me Allah, you call me Jehovah, you call me Krishna, you call me anything, I will respond. Tasya tasyachalam shraddham sameva vidadamyaham. I only give. Dadami aham. That shraddha I only give. So even if the celestial gods have to give something, they take it from the Supreme Lord and give. The Purnavatar. Lord Krishna is unequivocally proclaiming that he is the Purnavatar. And many scriptures have said this. Many great souls have mentioned. Whether it is anybody, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Adi Shankara, Kanakadasa, Purandaradasa, Meera, anybody present day also, Ramakrishna Paramahamsa, Paramahansa Yogananda, all have said and watched. They're all Brahmagyanis, they've seen. This is the highest form of Brahma, maximum Brahma exuding on earth. But then says, Sataya Shraddhaya Yukta Tasyaradhanamihate Labhate Chatata Kaman Mayeva Vihitan Hitan. Lord says, Sah, he, Taya. So, whatever he's doing, that. Okay. Shraddha, faith. Yukta, he comes with me with some kind of faith, right? Filled with faith. Tasya aradhanam ihate. He tries to worship me, asks me. Every soul knows there is something beyond. And there is a being beyond. Even a cow and a dog and a cat knows because they have souls. And it's quite developed. They did not get a human body, that's all. Because attaining a human body requires a certain amount of aham, that awareness, higher awareness. So next life they get it. So in this life they prepare. That is why we should not kill them. That's what the scriptures said. You should let them live. There's so many animals being born, right? You've seen why? Because the souls are not, we're not allowing expression, complete expression. So they have to be reborn as animals and animals. Otherwise, they become humans, then they become higher beings. So there's an evolutionary cycle there. So then Lord says, Shraddhaya Architam Ichchati. Whatever, however you want to worship, even an animal worships. Labate Chatata Kaman. He will get whatever his desire is, kama. Maya eva vihitan hitan. Because vihita is to give. The Lord says, I alone, eva, alone give it to them. So I can see everything, Lord is saying, and I give it to them. He has no partiality that he is worshipping that form. This is only my form. No, nothing like that. I will only give what you want. Then Lord says, Antavattu phalam tesham tadbhavatyalpamedhasam devan devayajo yanti madbhakta yanti mamapi. Lord says, Antavattu phalam. These things that you're asking, no, give me that and this in this world, they end. Because your car becomes khatara one day, what we've asked. The job becomes khatara. The family is over once. So these are antavattu phalam, tesham. All of them ask all these various useless gifts. Like a little child, no, second standard child, you go and ask him what do you want, he'll say chocolate. Suppose you say somebody appears, a fairy appears before and say, ask anything that you desire. But a seeker will say, give me moksha. So it is so different, right? So it's like that. So antavattu phalam tadbhavati alpamedasa, because it is born out of alpamedasa, little brain, very less brain development is there. So naturally, animals will just become humans. They're not able to move their brain very fast. They will be very strong with their bodies because animals will be very strong with, so they can do intense hard work, physical. But brain work will be difficult. So they are alpamedhasam. And so they can't ask for higher things. They want for initial fulfillment, right? It is, but it's not wrong. Lord is not saying it's wrong. He says, then he says, Devan Devayajo Yanti. If you worship the gods, different types of gods, you will attain that only. So suppose this whole life I did not attain becoming an IAS officer. You will come and reach becoming an IAS officer next life. It also means this. It does not necessarily how people generally say that, okay, you're worshipping that Lord who's not good. Krishna is the greatest. No, Krishna is not saying that. He's actually saying whatever your consciousness is, you'll attain that. You worship God, you worship a yakshik form, a Daiva spirit of the Yaksha form, he will give you what you want. But he can't give you moksha. He can't give you evolutionary states, higher evolutionary states. He can give you car, he can give you some basic things. Yanti, madbhakta yanti mamapi. If your consciousness is on me, you will come to me. You will unite, you will cross this samsara sagara. Who doesn't want to, right? Unless there's Alpamedasa. Because for Alpamedhas, suffering doesn't hurt so much. Pain is very enjoyable. Like animals are like that. You've seen that donkey or the, bull, not the bull, the black thing, buffalo. Its skin is so thick that even if you whip it 10 times, it doesn't feel it. It doesn't work, it doesn't move at all. So that is Alpameda. Why? Because it enjoys only standing there in the dirt, kitchen, and it feels very cool because sunlight is so hot. So it gets into muck and then stands there and eats. The pig does the same, and it's got very thick skin. So that's Alpamedasam. These are typical examples. And Lord says, I remember once when we were in Gujarat, then I was very excited because I just found my guru way back. 2005, 6 or something. So I was so excited. I was sitting everywhere I was gushing only about God, God, God. So my husband wanted a haircut. So it was a unisex parlor. So we went there. He said, okay, 10 minutes, I'll go. I was so excited. The owner of the guy who was sitting in the billing counter started talking to him about Krishna and Kriya Yoga and meditation and how man has to seek this and find this. Poor fellow listened to me for some time. I was speaking to him. After 15 minutes, just before my husband just got it from the haircut, he was going. I remember this. I was so excited. I said, oh, look, I have just become a proselytizer and I've changed a man. you know, and he's going to seek God. So it's so beautiful to see God. And this man suddenly asked me, Madam, आपसे कुछ पूछना था. I said, हाँ पूछिए ना. तो he said, पर मैं मस्ती कब करूँगा? मेरे को enjoy करना है ना life. अगर मैं ध्यान में बैठ गया, अगर मैं कृष्ण के पीछे-पीछे भाग गया, तो मैं मस्ती कब करूँगा? I was shocked. I didn't have answer because my husband didn't know I was talking all this, and then he said, "Chacha, let's go." We came. That got me thinking. I said, "Wait, not everyone's so excited about knowing Gita. Not everyone wants to do this. Look, there are people out there जो मस्ती करना चाहते हैं, जो वहीं पे रहना चाहते हैं." So ठीक है. Lord says, "Yes, I'll wait." And in that waiting, it's painful for the soul also. That's what Guruji says. Okay, let's go for the Lord says. Avyaktam vyaktimapannam manyante mama buddhayah param bhavamajananto mamavyayam So he says, so Lord says that I am not actually this form called Krishna. You think I'm just this form? No, this 12-foot form of Krishna. I'm not that. Avyaktam vyaktim apannaha. Many people like Duryodhana and all thought, oh, this is just a human being. क्यों उसको भगवान भगवान करके पूज रहे हैं? ये तो सिर्फ एक आदमी है, दो आंख है. People deride gurus, no? They say, why this? These are all gurus. They are just like acting like humans. Why are you worshipping them? Avyaktam, formless, vyaktim apannam. They've just taken a form. I've taken a form. Manyante mam abudaya. They think I'm just a normal human form. Param bhavam ajanantam. Because they don't know. Ajanata, my greatest param bhava, that which is beyond and beyond. It is just a continuous flow of Brahma through that body, which becomes like a hollow tube. That is an avatar. Constantly connected. We are not connected. So param bhavam ajananta mam avyayam anuttamam. My avyaya, imperishable, anuttamam. Uttam se bhi bada, anupam uttamam, anuttamam. So this is a powerful being who is proclaiming itself through this 12 feet body. So this is Krishna. They think this is just a form. That's why they went to tie him up, the Kauravas. Then Lord says, then Lord says, what does he say? He says, Naham prakasha sarvasya yogamaya samavritaha mudhoyam nabhijanate loko mamajamavyayam. Then Lord says, Na aham prakasha sarvasya yogamaya samavrita. Yogamaya is that delusive not the Kamakroda, the kleshas, avidya, smita, raga, dvesha, abhinivesha. That is Yogamaya. apara Prakriti's modes. So the delusive coverings. So that is there in apara Prakriti. So the Jiva enters instantly, it is caught by these layers of veils around. Na aham prakasha sarvasya. So prakasha is to light up, radiant, or my known. My manifestation is not known to everyone, sarvasya. Yoga Maya Samavrita, because Avrita is to be covered by Yoga Maya. Apara Prakriti's powers, that is Satan's powers or Maya's powers. Mudo Aham Na Abhijanati Muda, they are deluded in that Apara Prakriti. I am this, not Abhijanati, not knowing me. These people of this world, Mam, I am the Ajam, unborn, Avyayam, the imperishable one which cannot be changed. So they don't understand me. Then Lord says, why? Because they are eclipsed by my own Maya. So that is why Mamevaya Prapadyanti. Surrender to me, your consciousness, keep it on me, you'll be able to come out. Whenever we are in pain, we do that naturally. When the pain subsides, we naturally go back and fall aram se into the Yoga Maya and we want to float. So the saints say this is a upward journey, so it is against the river. The river is Maya, it is flowing downwards, it's very easy. You don't have to तैरना नहीं है, अपने आप लेके जा रहा है. बट मालूम नहीं है कि आगे जाके इतना बड़ा there is a waterfall that your head is going to hit against that rock and you're going to die. So that is Maya. So that is the Maya. So it keeps you there. So it keeps you, you feel as if, oh, it's so nice and enjoyable, but it is not. Lot is actually enjoyable. Sukham athyantikam yatad buddhigrahyam atindriyam. So the real enjoyment is his sukha. But we don't know it yet. Then Lord says, Vedaham samatitani vartamanani charjuna bhavishyani cha bhutani mam tu vedana kaschana. Veda is knowledge. No. Veda aham samatitani. Atit means old. Aham, I. So I know the past. Vartamana is present. What is happening? Varta comes from the word Vartamana. Mana, moving. What is it? Whatever is happening and moving. Cha Arjuna. Bhavishya, future. Cha, also of all the beings. Bhutani. Mam tu Veda. Me, Mam. Tu. But Veda, knowing. Ka Aschana. Na kaschana. Mam tu Veda na kaschana. Not knowing. So nobody really knows what I am or who I am. But I know every being's past, present, and future. Powerful words there. Lord says, Ichha samuthena dvandvamohena bharata sarvabhutani sammoham sarge yanti parantapa. Lord says, Icha dvesha samuthena. Icha is desire, dvesha is anger, hatred. We basically come to do that. We love some, we hate some. We like this, we don't like this. We like this food, we don't. So basically, the entire duality manifests in the stomach chakra. We like and dislike. Icha dvesha samuthena. Everything, because of this duality, everything comes out. Lord says, Dvandva mohena bharata. From this dvandva, duality, like a rubber band, we are pulled. In the spine also, literally, we are pulled. Shiva and Shakti are separate. Mohena, in this illusion, we are stuck. Sarva bhutani sammoham. Sammoham is like Vashikaran. We're all walking like, we are under some kind of spell. Of what? Aparaprakriti, of the Maya. Sarva bhutani sammoham. Sarge yanti parantapa. At birth only. Sarga means creation. Pralaya means destruction. So at Sarga only that it happens. Not only one line. Sarga started when we were amoeba. When we were something, a group of bacteria. Bacteria apparently doesn't have one soul. That's what I got to know. The soul is classified. The soul manifests itself through 1 million bacteria. So 1 million bacteria it needs to, support its a little bit of consciousness. That too, the soul doesn't enter the bacteria completely, apparently. It still stays away. Through a man, it can express a lot. And through a Brahma, Jnani, it is completely expressive. So soul is looking for a vent to express itself in the apara prakriti. So he can rule over the apara prakriti. That's a game between Shiva and Shakti. Husband-wife's game it is. And all the children are stuck. We are also Brahma only. That's also very interesting. Then Lord says, Yesham tvantagatam papam jananam punya karmanam te dvamoha nirmukta bhajante mam dridhavrata. So look at the words, very interesting. Dridhavrata. Dhrida is very strong, right? Vrita is taking up some kind of vrita. Vritam, no, like they do Upavasa Vrita, they do some kind of vrita, Parayana Vrita, they do something. I'll read the Gita continuously for 40 days, like that. So everyone does it in this world. So Dhrida, that strongly they determine themselves to do something, right? Who they dvandva moha nirmukta. If you want to get out of this delusion of Satan, dvandva moha, the duality ka delusion, nirmukta, mukta, you want to be free, bhajante mam, worship me, mam, dhridavrata, holding me strongly, strong determination. Anything, any technique, any kind of upasana needs some kind of willpower, right? Otherwise it falls off. Then Lord says, Yesham tvantagatam papam. So when they realize that I don't want to be in this creation, the pap starts falling off. Antagatam, going. Gata means going, right? Papam is going off. Jananam punya karmanam. When they start doing more and more good works, giving, charity, helping, serving, punya karmana. It can be anything. You can serve an animal, a being, a human, anybody. You can serve earth itself. Every time you protect earth, you don't cut a tree, you don't use it extra tissue paper. You're serving earth. You're not hurting. You're not throwing things away. You're trying to protect everything. You're being very prudent. Otherwise, we're destroying, right? We're not serving earth. So that is the end of your paps, meaning your punya karmas are increasing. You will naturally get the dridhavrata to bhajante mam, to worship him. Lord says, Jaye te brahma tattvidu kritsnam adhyatmam karma chakilam. Lord then says, Jara is old, Marana is death. These two are the curses of human life, old age and death. However much we talk out of it, everyone is going to go through it. Lord says we always suffer, but an astral being doesn't have to go through this. The devas don't go through old age or death. So that is why when the devas get a curse and the rishi says, you are doing too much pleasure seeking, go to earth and suffer, go to Mrityuloka, Shap de deta. So you've seen in the Purana stories, they start crying, they roll at the feet of the, mujhe kahin pe bhejo, but don't send me to earth, Mrityulok mein mat bhejo. So this is very painful, that death is painful for the people also, and for the soul also. It's a very confusing time, because all his 80, 85, 100 years he's thought that he is this body, right? Suddenly he has to leave it. It's like opening the cage for the bird. The bird won't go out because it loves the cage. It's golden cage. It gets free food there. So we earned all our money here. We feel the cage is everything, the house is everything. But actually it's a cage. So Lord says, the Jara Marana Mokshaya, if you want moksha from this constant coming and going, Mam Ashritya Yatantiye. Yatantiye is Yatna Karu. Ashritya means take me as refuge. Ashraya Lera. Yatanti, struggle. Those people, Brahma Tat Viduhu, they will know Brahma. Kritsnam. Kritsnam is everything. Adhyatmam karma cha akilam. Karma cha akilam means akilam is every, all. Karma is karma, works. They have basically finished their works on earth. So they've finished, and their mind is on Adhyatma. They realize Brahma as well as Adhyatma. Adhyatma is Adhyatma, the Chaitanya which is within ourselves, the soul within ourselves, as well as Brahma is that which pervades beyond creation also is Brahman. So he will know everything, and his works stop on earth. Karma Chakilam, Kritsnam Karma Chakilam. This he says in 15th chapter also. So if you want to get into that karma sannyasa, then you have to hold on to Brahma. You want to come into the Jara Marana all the time, then we can generally, first 70 years, we can forget everything and make masti, and then, but none of us are like that here, because we are spending that evening tea time, learning some very deep shlokas. Then Lord says, with the last shlokas, he says, Sadhi bhutadhi daivam sadhi yajnam cha ye vidhu prayana kale pichamam te vidhur yukta chetasaha. So Lord says, he gives a very interesting principle. He says, you will know me as Brahma and Atma, both, right? Adhyatma and Brahman, both you'll know. So what is included in this Adhyatma and Brahma? That entire line, all the way from the unmanifest to the manifest is talking. What does it include? It includes Adi Bhuta, it includes Adi Daiva, and it includes Adi Yajna, Chaye Viduhu. You will know everything. My mysteries, these are creations. Prayana Kale Api. Prayana Kale is at the time of death. It's a very important point. They say for the humans, the entire life is just to prepare for the time of death. So it's called Prayana Kale in the scriptures. And that's the truth. But we don't know, we've lost sight of it. Prayana Kale Apicha Mam Te Vidur Yukta Chetasa. The Chetana is awake. Mam Te Vidu. Mam, me. Te, they. Vidu, no. They know me. They will know me. Yukta Chetasa, because their consciousness is constantly by practice united to remembering me. So consciousness which is remembering Brahma, the time of passing, does not go into rebirth. That is what Lord is saying. And if you hold on to Brahma, not only will you know about Brahman, Adhyatma, you will know the secrets of Adi Bhuta, Adi Daiva, Adi Yajna, all creation mysteries. So it's beautiful. Wisdom is a wonderful thing. And then at the time of consciousness leaving your body, most people go into deep sleep. That's what they said. So there's supposedly a nursery in the astral worlds, even in the ancestral world. So anybody who's extremely attached to the ancestors will go to the ancestral world, Pitraloka, Bhuvarloka. Beyond that is the Swaraloka, which is the God's world. Sukrita, Punya Karmas and all will go there. Extremely good works, like Ratan Tata and all these people. So they go there, they spend a lot of time. As long as they want it, they come. But it seems everyone, irrespective, except for those who are sadhakas and who have attained a certain level of awareness, for them, the rest of the beings will go into a state of somnambulance, because the sudden shock is very scary for the soul. So they go into the nursery. It's called the nursery, I believe. There they'll be sleeping for some time. Some sleep, sometimes years, human years hota hai. And then they wake up. In that sleep, they wake up, and then they generally are happy. They look like they're 20 years old. They're like, suddenly they look at their body and they're like, wow, my body is so beautiful. When did I get so young? So if they go, and if they have thought only negative things and done only bad things, they go through nightmares. Paramahansa Yogananda says that is akin to hell. Those nightmares are so realistic in the astral world. And if they've been happy, generally cheerful, done all the right things, then they will not go through. But for the sadhakas who are under the guidance of ascended masters, their consciousness is tried to be held afloat. The masters keep it afloat. It's possible. And for a person who is a bhakta, who is united with Krishna, with the yukta chetasa, united in consciousness all the time, Krishna, 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 Govinda, Mukunda, Janardana, constantly going on. We can start it at any age. It can get fixed in the mind. Paramahansa Yogananda says there was an 80-year-old woman who met Gurudev when he was in America, and she said, all my life, I have not believed in God. I have not attended churches. I have never believed because I could not see, touch, hear, or feel him. If you can prove to me that Brahma exists, God exists, I will follow to such an extent. I will not do anything but follow God. So Paramahansa Yogananda, obviously, he showed her the light, and she knew God exists instantly. And she says, in 4 years, she found God. 4 years. 84, she passed on. She was a mukta. She was free. Her Chetana was united. So it doesn't matter what age. But start, we should. That's the message in Jnana Vijnana Yoga. And everything will come. Jnana will come, Vijnana will come. But we should not chase Jnana Vijnana first. Chase Brahma first. So that's why Lord says, you are, a yogi is greater than a tapasvi. A yogi is greater than a karmi. A yogi is great, karma yogi also. A yogi is greater than who has learned some technique or upaya to reach me. A yogi is greater than a jnana yogi, always seeking answers to this, that. But he never mentioned bhakta. So that we are coming to that now. In the next week, we will do why Brahma loves bhakta. Because we are all created to love God. And love is the nature of Brahma. That is why he creates balance and rhythm. Okay, so that's the mystery. So then when we study Rajavidya, Rajaguhya Yoga, he explains that. What is the secret? He loves to be loved. Who doesn't love to be loved? We all love to be loved, right? And not in speech, that feeling, that divine magnetism. Love is a divine magnetism. So now, that is the next week's shlokas, chapters. We'll perhaps finish about 4. Maybe we'll finish up to 11. Hopefully 8, 9, 10. Maybe 11 also we can, because they're easier, simpler. We can discuss this eternally, but these are direct meanings. Let's take a moment of silence. It's a Friday evening. We will meet again on Monday. Let's visualize Lord Krishna in the Kotastha. We'll visualize our gurus and mentally we'll bow down and clasp their feet. They can feel it when we do this mentally. Surrendering all our learning, our activities of our entire life at His feet. Om Guru Narayane Samarpayami. Thank you to everyone for joining. If you have any questions, you may ask. You want to discuss or ask or say something, you may. Then I request somebody to perhaps chant. Let me look at the names. This is 7th chapter. I request Vishal Bondwal, if you could chant this chapter for us.
Yeah, Didi, I can. Before that, I have a question
Yeah.
from this chapter. So, Artho Jigyasur Artharthi Gyani Cha Bharat Rashabha. So, the Lord says he starts with Artha, then Jigyasu, then Artharthi, and then Gyani.
Mm.
And he says that the Gyani is dearest to him or closest to him,
Mm.
or thus implying that this is a hierarchy of sorts which
No,
starts at Artha. Okay,
no,
no.
no. Yeah, that's what I thought. Many people ask this question. It's a common question. Ascending order. Some people also say that, but I don't subscribe for it. Because see, I might be, look at this like this. I might be Jignasu. I want to know what is Prakriti. I want to know Purusha. I kind of mind boggling these concepts. I want to know. Okay. But I can fall ill, no? Then I can call God. Correct? I become an Artha then. So it's not ascending order, definitely. So I am an Artha. At that moment, I stop being a Jignasu, and my whole bodily ailment has encompassed my whole consciousness. I can't remember Brahma. I'm just saying, Lord, heal me, Lord, heal me. Artha I become. So I fell down. So, or it doesn't make sense like ascending order. Artharthi, again, Artharthi. Look at an Artharthi. He may be looking for something like he wants to earn millions of rupees in a whatever. I want to become the MLA or Prime Minister or whatever. I'm worshipping God. They will do that, they worship God for getting cabinet seats and all. So that is, I'm Artharthi. I'm wanting something, my desire fulfillment. Is an Artharthi greater than a Jignasu? No, no. So it's not a hierarchy. Jignasu is actually like technically one who's seeking for God. As a seeker is greater than a person who wants to look for some gain from God. Correct, na? So then Artharthi has to come before, and then the Jignasu has to go there. So it's not an ascending order. Do you feel it is? Is that your contention?
No. I was in doubt because of the same reason, because it's Jigyasu and then Artharthi. So I was wondering, how can Artharthi be considered higher than Jigyasu? Unless we say that if someone's Artha itself is God, just that they don't know enough like a Gyani. They may be worshipping a stone image, thinking the stone is all there is, like, the Murti is all there is God, and they're not thinking of universal God. If we take Artha in that sense, then maybe Artharthi can be considered higher than Jigyasu, but otherwise not. That's why I was in doubt. I have no contention, only doubts or
Actually,
thought.
artha is always, artha means some meaning, but artha is normally equated to material gain. No, आज भी आर्थिक व्यवस्था कैसा है? In Hindi, that's how
Yeah,
the
yeah.
word.
No, I agree. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
I agree.
It
That's what I
becomes
was saying. That
yeah.
Yeah. So the only way Artharthi, if it were a hierarchy, then the only way Artharthi being higher than Jigyasu makes sense if we take Artha as something symbolic and not as money. But if we take it as material gain, then yes, then it should not be a hierarchy at least. So I agree with you, definitely. I was just trying to
Yeah, yeah,
clarify.
right. And
Yeah.
so basically, no interpretations. Like three, four interpretations I've read not completely, but looked at wherever there's a confusion. Like this is a question that normally comes about for when you study the Gita formally also. It's not a hierarchy. Everyone they say it is for that's poetic freedom. Vyasa is because it's a poem, na? That's why it's called Gita. It is not a prose. It is poem. So that is why it is sung. So this poetic liberty. So we can use the words interchangeably and all that. That's why the word Atma signifying so many things. That's all a little. For that's why understanding the Gita needs a little Jnani's interpretation. That's why people generally read the interpretations of the Jnani's interpretation. They don't mention anywhere hierarchy, but it's a good question.
Didi, but we can be Arthatri sometimes, we can be Jigyasu,
Yeah,
we
yeah,
can be
yeah.
Bhaktas. So
Yeah, but
then, how do
Jnani we
we
can't.
know?
We can't become a.
Yani, Jigyasu, I'm saying.
Yeah, yeah,
Jigyasu. And so then, like, how do we know that which is the, like, whether later
what
on,
else?
like, at the time of death, what is
So
our
Lord in the next chapter will tell that answer. He says that whatever you have your consciousness on throughout, throughout, that is what at the time of death will come back to you. Predominant consciousness where it remains throughout your life, that is where it comes. So but that doesn't matter because your consciousness, you may make it predominantly on God in the last 20 years or last 50 years or last 10 years. That's also okay. So we can be Artharthi for a long time, but we can attain Lord at the end. There are so many examples like this. There are no hard and fast rules. Yeah, there's only three.
Also, yeah, from an Artharthi perspective, God himself calls Arjuna Dhananjaya multiple times. So it means it's not bad to, if we take Dhananjaya literally, it would have maybe symbolic meanings as well. But the one who wins a lot of wealth, God himself uses it as a name for
No, no,
Arjuna.
no, no.
So,
Here,
okay.
Dhananjaya meaning is धन 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 के ऊपर जिसने जय प्राप्त किया है, meaning one who is not greedy for wealth.
Oh, okay, thank you. I'm glad then I asked this question. I had the wrong impression. Because many Gita like interpretations, regular ones, they say winner of wealth. They don't say winner over wealth, which makes more sense now. Yes, thank you. Uh, so should I
Sriram sir.
chant or
Yeah,
should I
yeah,
wait?
Shan. Sriram sir wanted to say something. His hand came up. Sir, my thought process just goes like a water. Then if somebody says something, I can't remember. That is why I don't. I didn't. Allow you to say something. You want to say something? Yeah, you can
That's
say.
yeah, that's okay. Today when I put on the Gita, sorry, yeah, when I put on the Gita, it came straight to this avyaktam vyaktimapannam manyate mam buddhiye. Then I was wondering, I thought we had already read up to here. So I stayed there. Then I was called away, so I had to leave the meeting and go. And when I came back, we were still on that one, and you started from there. So I was very surprised. I said, "How come? Uh, 1 hour has passed nearly, and she's still here." So what
The
happened
Lord knew
actually?
you were going to listen from there only.
No, the previous verses you had already covered yesterday, or you had not covered.
No, not covered. So
Oh, I
we
see.
did
Okay.
from 16. We did from 16.
16 to 24.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
16 and then beyond.
16
And
to
beyond.
30.
Yeah. 16
15
to 30.
yesterday.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
It
Thank
happens.
you.
Also, consciousness is very important. Like that day, Sarna sir was asking some questions couple of days back. Next day, when I was meditating, I was asking something very unconsciously to Lord, and I started seeing these visions. I can't even put it into words. I was telling Shumona, like I saw the answer, but I can't tell the answer. It's ridiculous. I like actually saw like how that apara prakriti and para prakriti, that is yesterday's discussion, but day before yesterday's discussion, before that 2 days back, Sarna said it asked something. So something, how Purusha and Prakriti get created from, how is he still a being? Something came, and I neither do I recollect it in a conscious mind. It happened in stillness, and nor am I able to write about it or talk about it. So I don't know. But after I came out, that maybe that consciousness, it was like very tiring. So yesterday, day before yesterday, something had happened. So today also was something very strange happened. Today, I was telling Shumana that the meditation made me so fatigued because the stillness was going on and on and on and on, and there's some visions were coming, and then I could hear things, and it was literally about, I don't know, it was something and all about religions and Christianity, and perhaps one or two sentences was like, maybe because my consciousness was a bit troubled about the crash yesterday. So I was unconsciously meditating and asking questions. So answers were coming, and it lost me. And then out of that, something happened which showed the world is going into very high levels of spiritual consciousness. And, great religions, there will be emergence. And through this, I don't know, I don't want to be patronizing for any path here because we're generally doing a Gita session. But it generally came out that Guruji's path, Paramahansa Yogananda, and it wasn't Guruji. It was definitely not Guruji. You know Guruji's energy, right? It was definitely no, same level, but it was a different energy conveying this message. Made no sense that time. It was like everything is going to change, in the next 6 to 7 years. A couple of years back, I'd done a PLR and I saw the same thing. I was not getting answers for my problem that I was suffering that time in 2021. And I saw so many things, and the lady was like, Ye kya dekh rahe hain aap? I said, I have no idea why all this I'm seeing. And that all things are happening now. Like I had seen charred bodies and all, like burnt bodies. And yesterday I saw the same bodies, similar bodies charred in India in the plane crash. And I was like, really? It couldn't be the same black suit. And, it was, I was like, really, how could I see something 4 years back and relate it? But, I was reading through the comments. Some person is saying in the comments, in the videos, that he kept on seeing some numbers and something to relate to flight and images and dreams. And he's a spiritual person. And he'd written a comment, and I did not believe it, Indian only. And when this happened, I was shocked. And also when the 11th seat guy, remained, nothing happened to him, right? So he's saying that he's seeing 11 number, constantly 11, 11, 11. It was a message. So it's fascinating. I think the higher beings send us messages, all of them. There are billions of them. And we who are, open through compassion, or when we're in meditation state, we can kind of, if you're a visual person, your visions come. Auditory person can hear it. So we are
What is the
not yet attuned, but I think we are going there through Kriya and meditations and all.
Didi, after Chandi.
Yeah. Yeah, you
what is
chant,
the
you chant. Right?
what is
So
what
we'll
is a
talk.
PL? Yeah, what is a PLR?
Past life regression, sir. Past life
Oh, okay, sorry,
regression.
It's a
sorry. Okay.
hypnotherapy session. I used to love it, so I used to keep going. Okay, and now I've learned to do it. So I did it for my daughter recently, and it was like a grand success. So we can do it someday. Okay. So we can do it online also and zero cost. Otherwise, people generally charge like 10,000, 7,000 per one session in India. Abroad, it might be more expensive, like $500 every one session. I think it's ridiculous to charge something like that. Any spiritual person can do it, especially all the Kriya Paths. Okay, let's now chant. We can do a quick chant, like, we've chanted it already. So